Hey everyone, welcome to Massachusetts Sports Central. These are our NFL game picks for Week 17. It's the last week of the season and nothing fancy. Every game is on Sunday in either the 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock window. In Week 16, we had a great week going 14-2, so we'd like to keep that going in the last week of the season for sure. Our overall record went up to 159-81 for the season. Okay, let's get right into the Week 17 games. Starting off, we have Green Bay visiting Detroit. A few weeks ago, this had a decent amount of hype around it, but now it's just for a little bit of pride, as the outcome won't even change the standings. Both teams blew their chances to make this possible win and in game with recent losses. Detroit is the better team right now, and I'll take that, and I'll take them in this game 23-17. Our next game is Texans at Colts, which is about as meaningless as a game can get. Since Indy won the first game, if they win, they will be, they will finish third at 4-12 based on that sweep. That's about all the intrigue you're going to get here. The Texans are free falling a bit at this point, but the Colts have also lost 6 in a row since they won the first meeting between these two clubs. Flipping a coin and going with Houston 21-20. Next up are the Bears at Vikings. There is a tiny chance that the Vikings don't get the second seed, so they do have, just a little bitty bit to play for. However, that is very unlikely. That being said, even if they rest some guys or pull them early, they don't need that much to beat this Bears team, and they will. Vikings 24-14. All right, next game is Jets at Patriots. New England actually has to win this game to hold on to the number 1 seed, since you don't want to count on the Browns beating the Steelers. So unless it's a big blowout, expect the regulars to play most of the game. That, along with Bryce Petty being among the worst QBs in the league in a year where a lot of bad backups are playing, it is hard to see New York doing much. Pats lock up top seed with a 34-17 win. We have Redskins at Giants next. New York is a total mess at this point. The Skins aren't lighting the world on fire, but they are just mediocre, which is a lot better than bad. Cousins will have a pretty good day, putting his stamp on his big money this offseason, leading Washington to a 27-13 win. Next, we have the other NFC East matchup, with the Cowboys heading to Philly to play the Eagles. You would think this could have been the opposite of last year's season finale between these two teams, where the Eagles were eliminated and the Cowboys had locked up home field, and they rested most of their guys, and the Eagles took the game. The main difference is that with the Wentz injury, they're likely to play a good number of their starters, at least on offense, to give Foles more game time reps with everyone. They might not be going full force, but they will definitely not just mail it in either. And that's enough for me to take Philly in this one, 28-24. All right, last early game is Browns at the Steelers. Unlike this matchup last year, the Steelers can still pull out the number 1 seed, so don't expect to see everyone sit like last year. However, unlike the last game we talked about, the Steelers still beat the Browns with all their backups last time, and I think they could easily happen again if that is what Pitt decides to do. Browns are just awful and are going to lock up their 0-16 legacy with a 24-9 loss to the Steelers. All right, moving to the late games, we are looking at one of the really big games on the day with the Panthers visiting the Falcons. If the Falcons win, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they need the Cards to upset the Seahawks to get in. This game isn't meaningless for the Panthers either. If they win and the Saints lose, they actually take the division. And in a crazier scenario, as we mentioned about the Vikings a few minutes ago, if that happens, that they win and the Saints lose, and the Rams and the Vikings also lose, they actually would end up the number 2 seed. Obviously, that is a bit far-fetched, but it's probably enough to keep them playing hard to the final whistle. That being said, I still think that a Clickin' Falcons team can be dangerous, and who knows if good cam or bad cam shows up. I will take the Falcons to scratch this one out 23-21. All right. Coming up, we have the Bengals visiting the Ravens. I was surprised the Bengals played so well last week, after being, super pathetic the previous couple games. If that team shows up, they will at least give Baltimore a game. That being said, this is a win and in for the Ravens, so they have a lot to play for. The Baltimore defense is good, and the offense has been doing decent of late. So while I don't think they're a big Super Bowl threat, they're a lot better than Cincy. Ravens punched their playoff ticket with a 27-16 win. Next up is Buffalo going to Miami to face the Dolphins. The Bills can still make the playoffs, but they have to win this one to get some help. They are the better team, but you'd have to feel a lot better about their chances if this was in Western New York. I think they will rise to the occasion and keep hope alive pending the other results. Bills take this one 2017. All right, moving on to what looks to be a sizable mismatch with the Saints at the Bucks. New Orleans is clearly the better team, and they need to win to assure they don't lose the division to the Panthers, as we were saying. Tampa has been giving teams fits recently, just not actually winning. I don't think that will change. Well, at least not the winning thing. I do think the Saints are going to take this one pretty easy, 33-20. All right, next is a harder one to call based on circumstances, with the Jags going to visit the Titans. So the Jags have absolutely nothing to play for. They clinched the division and are locked into the number 3 seed no matter what. However, Marone insists that the starters will be playing, and you have to assume they don't want to go into the wildcard game on a 2-game losing streak. Also, you have to assume they would like to avenge the embarrassing loss to Tennessee earlier this year, and would probably love to knock them out of the playoffs, which is not unlikely if the Titans lose. On the other side, the Titans are in a win-and-in team, so they actually have a lot to play for. I believe that the Jags are going to be in it to win it, and the Titans have been going down the tubes recently. I'm saying the Jags take it 2013. All right, moving on, we have a game with nothing really going on with the Chiefs at the Broncos. Denver's long eliminated and can't really play spoilers since, similar to the Jags, the Chiefs have clinched the division and are locked into the number 4 seed no matter what. The only interesting things will be for those that like to evaluate QB play, I guess, since the Broncos will start Lynch to try to get one last look at what they might have for a future QB there, or if he's a first-round bust. On the other side, Mahomes gets the start for a resting Alex Smith. I don't think this is a bad move for KC to give him some live action since he is the backup, and if anything does happen to Smith, he will have to play. I think KC is the better team, and at this point, Mahomes will at least have the better feelings going in since Lynch hasn't impressed in the games that he has played the last 2 years. Going to take the Chiefs 21-13. Okay, next is the other AFC West tilt with the Raiders visiting the Chargers. Chargers need to win and get a fair bit of help to make the playoffs. The Raiders are mediocre at best, but also should love to play spoilers and remind the Chargers that they are, at best, the 3rd most popular team in LA. I am going to go with Oakland in the upset, eliminating the Chargers in the most Chargery way, since my other picks would have actually given them the right help to have made the playoffs with a win. But alas, I will take the Raiders winning 27-23. Okay, last 2 games are the two NFC West matchups. First off, we have the 49ers visiting the Rams. In what on paper seems like a total mismatch. However, the Rams don't really have anything to play for and have announced that Goff, Gurley, and Aaron Donald, among some others I believe, will all sit out this game. Couple that with the Niners being red hot with a 4-game winning streak, including back-to-back wins against playoff contenders, and you have a much more interesting matchup. With LA resting those guys as well as the still unsettling kicker situation, I'm going to stay on the Jimmy GQ train and have San Fran pulling off the upset with a 27-20 win. Okay, last game is the last one that has real playoff importance with the Seahawks hosting the Cards. Seattle isn't a win and in, but they have to win to make it, and their help is straightforward with just needing the Falcons to lose to make it. I picked the Falcons earlier in a tight one, so the Hawks should be in position to make it right to the end of the game. Cards always play them tough, though, so don't expect this to be a blowout no matter how much more it means for Seattle. I do think that they will do their part and get in, even if it doesn't work out for them. Seahawks take a defensive battle 13-10. Okay, we'll review the picks after all the games next week as usual. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, and share the videos, and subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on other social media. Facebook and Twitter are both at MA Sports Central. Thanks, and we will see you soon.